1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, I'm on. All right, so hey everybody, Ken Johnson here, just doing a quick weather update for you here to kind of talk about, what's going on with the weather and what happened here in the weather, why we didn't get much in the way of severe weather here. The way things were coming together, and based upon weather information earlier in the day, and for most of the day anyway, we were really concerned about our part of the country. It was looking probable that there were going to be multiple supercells producing some very large hail in northwest Texas and southwest Oklahoma. We were never super concerned about the tornado potential. The winds in the lowest levels of the atmosphere were not real favorable for that. You can basically see it by looking at the radar now. There are very few tornadoes. Matter of fact, there are no tornado warnings in Texas, and the only one I see is a little small one up here north of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Other than that, I don't really see any warnings. There still might be a couple tornado warnings there north and east of Oklahoma City, but nothing like that down in our area. And so far, those storms even down central Texas and into the Metroplex are behaving themselves as well. There's some rotation on those, but again, the spin is mostly there in the clouds and not able to reach the Earth's surface, just not enough low-level wind shear. Now, it's a little bit better. The wind shear, anyway, the ingredients for tornadoes would be perhaps maybe a little bit better over in here if these storms can maintain any supercell characteristics over this way. They might have a potential over this way. But one thing that we are looking at is the fact that there are a lot of storms that develop today to our south. And the computer models that we look at to help us forecast, they're just a guidance. But every one of them they're called convective allowing models. They show where the thunderstorms are going to be. They show kind of what the radar might look like. And to be honest about it, they're usually very, very accurate. But today, and they had these storms that are down here in the Metroplex kind of over Wichita Falls, and again, that just never happened. But we're not complaining, right? But these storms gobbled up, I think, the instability, and I think that's what happens. And oftentimes with supercells, they move right and left in different directions, and I think that the directions just kind of killed our chances here today, which, again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's probably what happened. I don't like to sound the alarm unless I absolutely have to, and I felt like I needed to today. With hail, I was never, pushing tornado threats very, very much. I was mostly pushing for these threats for hail today, and that's still what we're seeing here. Kind of on the north side of the Metroplex, this is kind of a hail-producing thunderstorm, kind of north of North Richland Hills, kind of moving towards probably the late Louisville area, kind of up north of Farmers Branch and Flower, kind of near Flower Mound. Headed in those directions there, moving east, north of Azle. Then you jump down to the south, and there's some pretty significant storms from about Stephenville up to about Granbury. These got almost some supercell-like looks to them, and from time to time, they do appear to have at least a little rotation in them, but most of that rotation is suspended aloft. Nothing that's coming down to the Earth's surface. That's certainly some good news. Can't rule out a little something over on the north side of the Metroplex, but as of right now, it looks like all's going to be okay outside of the hail threats. But then you jump back into our area, and there's just not a whole lot going on at all. We have the dry line situated kind of here. You can kind of see it backing up a little bit. And then there's your cold front. So as this moves in this evening, there's some thunderstorms. These are called elevated thunderstorms. Their bases are way up high in the atmosphere. They're behind the cold front. But as the front makes its way south and southeast this evening, we could still see some additional isolated thunderstorms try to pop up here or there. But I don't think they have a lot of instability to work with, so I'm not overly concerned with those. If we get them a little hail, can't be ruled out. You go up north of Oklahoma City, quite a few storms. I had a lot of storms up here north of Oklahoma City tonight, and these storms are pretty mean, pretty nasty. That's where your main severe weather event looks like it's going to develop is there, north and northeast of Oklahoma City. These are supercells, kind of along the cold front. They have had some rotation with them, and they've produced a couple really small spin-ups up here, but nothing that's too significant. But fortunately, looks like it's mostly going to be a hail threat. Now, you might see some of the tornado threats. Here's some storms developing east of Ardmore, and these could develop over into the eastern part of Oklahoma. There could be some perhaps threats for maybe something developing with those if they can kind of continue to develop there. Overall, though, not a lot of instability in the atmosphere. That could also kind of hinder this as well. So overall, this looks like this is going to be what we refer to in the world of meteorology a busted forecast. Like I said, we just didn't, the big hail threats, at least in our area, just not materialize. But I am thankful for it. I'm not regretting it. I'm thankful for it because if those storms had just deviated a little bit, we'd be dealing with the hail threats here too. So thankfully, that wasn't the case. We are going to, this time, we're canceling the first alert weather day. The tornado watch is still up, I believe, but I thought about maybe trimming it off some, or maybe taking some counties out of it, but I don't officially do that. That's that's more of the job of the Storm Prediction Center and the Weather Service to do that. And I hate to take over their jobs and do that. So I'm going to let it ride, but just know